Okay, so this is my third time recording this because my screencasting thing will not publish it to my YouTube and it keeps deleting it. So hopefully this is the last. So for exit ticket 4, I thought the most important thing was makerspace parts of the classroom, and I think in makerspace parts or makerspace is learning spaces where learners solve authentic problems with iterative, creative, and critical thinking. It's more hands-on and student learned. It's discovery learning, so their educators are not the center of the lesson, and this allows the students to be more creative and collaborate and work with teams or pairs, and they have to communicate very well. And I just think it's a great way for students to express themselves and express their own ideas in the classroom. So here are some images. So there's like Lego space you could have. You could just call it maker space. You use all these different tools like scissors, glue, paper, just many different things. You can almost use anything. And you can see that some students are working together. They're working alone. Honestly, makerspace, you can do almost anything. And I just love that. And then, so the assignment I thought was most thoughtful and challenging was the online lesson module, which I really enjoyed doing. And I thought this is very useful for my future classroom or for me being a future educator because we will always have online learning, and it's a great way. This is a great way to learn how to make the online lessons and create some ideas of what to do. And I love how we could be creative and we weren't stuck to one idea and one way to do something. And I also thought something that was challenging was to know what specific activities to do for your lesson, so that the message is getting across to the students. And I thought that was a little bit difficult. And I also thought something else that was a little bit difficult to make sure like it was appropriate for the age level. So for example, if you have kindergarten, first, second graders, you're doing more multiple choice and not as much short answer and written response. And here are some screenshots of my online lesson modules. So I thought the explain part was probably the hardest, and then I thought the apply part was a little bit challenging. So pedagogy. So in the beginning, I thought good teaching was like the educator led more with just like a few activities, and you take quizzes throughout the lesson, and you take a test at the end, and you do activities like some independent, some with groups, some with like partners. But after I decided I think it's more like it should be student led and hands-on activity, and I want the students to be like participating more, um, like having makerspace parts in your classroom so that kids can be creative and you're using more technology and stuff. And I went to the Zoom with I forget his name, but he was talking about how his students learn so much better when he ditched the textbook, which is what his website's called, or ditched that textbook. He said that they learn so much better with technology, which like makes a lot more sense because our world is like, it sounds bad, but like we're centered around technology a lot more, and students are going to enjoy working with technology more. So here are some pictures. So like I like this one with a girl standing up here, and she's um doing, I don't know, maybe a problem on the board or something. And I think it's important for students to see their classmates work on problems, because one, they can see what they might be doing wrong, and so they're learning, and like the other students learning, and they can also like critique and give advice to each other, which I think is a great way for communication, because you're always going to have to be able to like critique someone in a nice way. And then this is just like the students having technology in their classroom. And then the technology tool I thought was most important was Class Dojo. I really like Class Dojo. I think it's a great tool for elementary kids. So for the like student end, I think it's very simple, very fast, very easy. They can just do the assignment right there, submit it, and I love that. They can contact me. I think that's awesome for the educators. perspective, I like how you can contact students, you can contact parents, you can do both. You can post things in your class story. You can see what students have logged in for the day. You can see them work on their assignments. Um, and I just love that. And you can also like um, give your students points, like if they participated a lot or just like different things that they might have done good in the classroom, and their parents would get notifications saying how amazing they are. And then some technology tools I also thought were important, like screencasting. I think it's a great tool to use for online lesson modules, and I would use this in my future classroom too, because we're always going to have online lessons, and I think it's a great tool for your students to hear your voice, which most students do better when they hear their teacher's voice. So I think that's a great way. And then I also like Bbot. I like how it is very kid friendly, especially for that kindergarten, first grade, second grade level. You can go forward, backwards, left, right. Very basic, very cute. It just helps with that surface level coding, and I love that. And then for the next 10 years, like what do I see for technology and everything? I see it to continue to grow, and them to bring out more activities. I feel like they will bring out a lot more like math activities and stuff. I'm not really sure exactly what. I can see them also bringing more science activities out. So, for example, like labs, and like have them be more realistic. I don't know to what extent, but I also think virtual reality will grow tremendously, and there will be a lot more opportunities for it. So, like, I think there'll be like live virtual reality, or like a collaboration with virtual reality where you can like collaborate with someone. I think they'll be able to do that, because I think virtual reality is a great tool to use in a history classroom, because you can see different parts of the world and stuff like that. And then I also think majority of schools will be able to provide iPads and Chromebooks for their students at that point. Right now, a lot of schools can, but there are still a few that can't. And I think by that point, all the schools will be able to provide something. And then I also think a majority of schools will be able to provide some type of way for all students to have internet access. Because right now, that's a big problem with a lot of schools. That not all their students go home and have internet access, so the students can't go home and work on more assignments.